Sorry about that. I was trying to find a document. I couldn't find what I was looking for, but I found one that was good enough. So we'll work with that. This is going to be a short stream because I have to go play a game with Patrick at like 10:30. So I just wanted to go over this new document that came out in the bankruptcy case for Laura Owens. Not her family. That's a separate bankruptcy case for Ron and Jan. But for Laura's actual bankruptcy case, there was a document filed on Clayton's behalf today. So I want to go over that. There seems to be some inconsistencies with statements she's made to the court in her criminal case, which is unsurprising at best. But, okay. I'm just hanging out on my couch. I'm not doing anything big tonight, so I didn't want to be up at my desk. So I'll probably turn the face cam off and we'll just read. Because if I want to read on my laptop, I have to have the brightness up, and it's like hurting my eyes. So we'll go ahead and turn that off in just a second. But let me pull this up first. There we go. Oh, that's better. Okay. Hey, Jen, what's up? Hey, everyone. Okay, so this is not a very long document. I don't expect this to be a very long stream, but I did want to just go over it for a little bit. Let's see. So plaintiff Clayton Echard, through counsel, alleges the following for his complaint for non-dischargeability of debt. So basically, like, she should not be able to get out of the debt she owes Clayton because of her, like, declaring bankruptcy. God knows if she actually has any money stashed away or not at this point. I mean, she seems to have enough money to pay for things when she absolutely needs to or wants to, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what they've kind of done in the background. It seems like they did some interesting financial stuff so they can still afford, frivolous court cases and shit like that. And like filing for an appeal in the Maricini case, which she absolutely does not need to do. So yeah. Lauren, used to learn dark mode. I could, or I could do this. All right. This is an adversary proceeding under pursuant to, I'm not going to go through all that specific law stuff. You guys know, you want to listen to a lawyer, there's plenty of them around. But, all right. So to determine the non-dischargeability of debt owed by debtor Laura Owens to plaintiff/creditor Clayton Echard, hereafter Echard, in connection with the following state court cases. And then they list the court cases there. So like the family court case, the appeal, I think they list in here. Yeah. And then of course, they went to the Arizona Supreme Court and got denied there as well. So, and then there's the state of Arizona versus Laura Michelle Owens. Okay. The debtor defendant, Laura Owens, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in this matter on or about December 8th. And I haven't gone over every single document in the bankruptcy case, but I know that there were some problems with her documentation. I don't know how that can be fixed or what exactly was wrong with it. I think Tiff is probably one of the better people to explain that to you guys. I know MG Law was planning on going over this stuff, so he could probably tell you as well, but I didn't have a chance to really dig into that too much. All right. Owens is an individual who currently resides and at all relevant times has resided in Scottsdale, Arizona. Upon information and belief, Owens is or was a manager, member, or shareholder of several business entities, including but not limited to Quartet Farms LLC, Liz Max Investments LLC, Keybacker Incorporated, Stylet LLC. I don't think I remember what Stylet LLC is. Is that the horse tits one? The horseshoe tits shirt? Give me 1 second to get some water here. I have a horseshoe tits shirt. You guys have seen it. It's not the horseshoe tits shirt, but it's one that somebody sent me. So, all right. Echard is a creditor of Owens by virtue of several judgments entered for Echard's benefit and against Owens in the Superior Court of Arizona, the Arizona Court of Appeals, and the Supreme Court of Arizona. That's quite a track record for, a couple of blowjobs, but all right. The state courts entered the judgments for attorney's fees and costs incurred in the litigation and subsequent appeals in pursuit of Owens' fraudulent paternity claim under Arizona Revised Statutes Title 25, Marital and Domestic Relations. Speaking of Clayton, I sent him a text the other day. I was like, saw this meme and thought of you. Maybe you should try it. And it's like something I found on Instagram is like a man was arrested for like badgering women in a diaper. He like put on a diaper and started asking women to change him. And I was like, maybe you just need to alter your approach like this guy did. He said he would think about it. Anyways, Echard is a creditor of Owens by virtue of several judgments. Got it. The state courts entered the judgments for attorney's fees and costs incurred in litigation and subsequent appeals in pursuit of Owens' fraudulent paternity claim under Arizona Revised Statutes Title 25, Marital and Domestic Relations. Which, the fact that you're even having to deal with laws for marital and domestic relations because a lady gave you a blowjob and then pretended that got her pregnant with twins is bizarre, but here we are. So, okay. No, that's Good Luck Shop. Oh, that's the horseshoe tits? Well, now I'm getting mixed messages, guys. I don't know which one of you is correct, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, I have a way better shirt than they're selling, so... And I would tell you who sent it to me, but they asked me not to use their name, so I can't. Okay. Echard has not yet filed a proof of claim in this bankruptcy proceeding, and no deadline for filing proof of claim has been set as of the date of this complaint. In her voluntary petition for bankruptcy, Owens lists the debt to Echard as an undisputed and non-contingent claim secured by judgment lien. Owens was present in Arizona and resided in Arizona at all times relevant to the allegations in this complaint. Well, they're talking about all of the cases, right? Not just this one. I was going to say for this one, she's definitely, not going anywhere because she has to ask the court for permission. This court has jurisdiction over this adversary proceeding as a court proceeding under 28 U.S.C. Section 157B and 1334. The District of Arizona is the most appropriate venue because this adversary proceeding arises from Owens' bankruptcy petition now pending in this court. So here we get into the background. Owens and Echard met on or about May 17, 2023. At the time of their acquaintance, Owens portrayed herself as an entrepreneur with business interests in media, real estate, and the equitation, among others. At the time of their acquaintance, that's probably the best way to put it, Echard was and still is a real estate advisor. Okay. Owens represented to Echard that she wanted to invest in real estate and sought his services as a real estate advisor. So she was trying to keep up this weird boss bitch image, and it's like she never had a job. And all of this stuff was unattainable for her. And it's highly speculated that she was seeking him out and kind of stalking him before they ever met, which is hardly shocking. 1 second, I'm going to take a sip of water. Anyways. Okay. Between what the... Okay, we're going to slow down here. I'm all tired and full of spaghetti. It's a mess. All right, between May 17th and May 20th, 2023, Owens and Echard viewed a few properties in or around Scottsdale, Arizona. On August 1st, 2023, Owens filed a paternity lawsuit in Maricopa County, Arizona. In the suit, Owens alleged she was pregnant and sought to establish paternity by Echard and orders for illegal decision-making, parenting time, and child support. Echard denied the allegation and asserted in his petition for a finding of non-paternity that Owens fabricated a pregnancy and could not be pregnant by him because they did not have intercourse. And the fact that she still tries to argue against that is insane. It's just insane. Additional collateral litigation arose between Owens and Echard, including Owens' petition for an order of protection against Echard and Echard's petition for an injunction against harassment against Owens. Owens testified in court and in deposition several times as a result of the paternity action, the order of protection action, and the injunction against harassment action. Okay. What did I miss here? Having a conversation about that for sure. Where did Bruce go? I think I have 3 dual lands. Those might be worth... What? What does that mean? Okay. Why is this even discussed in a bankruptcy? Well, so it's not... These aren't her bankruptcy documents, right? He's trying to explain to the court why her judgment or her debt to him should not be discharged by the bankruptcy. So she should still have to pay the judgment because she did damages to him and the court awarded him that as such. So they're saying that she shouldn't be able to get out of it by declaring bankruptcy, that she should still that should still be in place, basically. That's the best way I can explain it. I know Tiff can probably do it a lot better than me, but yeah. So that's why they have to kind of explain the background of why they're making that request. Okay. The Superior Court of Arizona conducted a bench trial to resolve the outstanding issues in the paternity action on June 2024. Speaking of bench trial, I saw that David's DUI trial has been set for March with a jury trial. And I haven't really looked into that too much. I just assume whenever something actually happens in court, then I'll start paying attention. But I know Rob has been keeping up with that. I was kind of is that normal for a jury trial for a DUI? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. I have no idea if that's normal or not. So, but that was kind of interesting. So, okay. Boot says because the judgment was related to her doing fraud, that the bankruptcy shouldn't wipe out the debt. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyways, Owens admitted to introducing evidence into the proceedings that she altered, including misrepresenting test data and identity. The Superior Court heard testimony from Owens, Echard, and 2 expert witnesses concerning the plausibility of Owens' alleged pregnancy, her fraudulent alteration of test results, and other misconduct in the paternity proceedings. The Superior Court found that Owens brought the paternity action without basis or merit, testified falsely, misled the court, altered documents introduced into evidence, and acted with improper purpose in the suit against Echard. The Superior Court also found Owens knowingly presented a false claim and awarded Echard his attorney's fees and costs associated with, and there's the family court case. So when she's saying, and this has just made me think of that, when she's saying stuff on the stupid website, which I'm sure most of you guys have seen before, that the court doesn't normally prosecute perjury and these things, and it's ridiculous that people are complaining about this because it's she never presented the whatever she sent to Dave Neal, whatever false HCG test she sent to Dave Neal. I don't remember if it's on the website or somewhere else, but she, makes the argument that, well, I never presented it in court. And I'm thinking, well, we're reading all this stuff on the internet. So that just really shows that you're even more willing to lie outside of court. So I don't really know that that's a flex that you want to be making. But yeah, so I was just reminded of that because they're talking here about her altering documents and that shit. I'm so basically you didn't present it to the court, but you did present some to the court. So you're just saying there's more fraud out there that people haven't discovered. I don't understand why you think that's a good idea, but all right, here we are. I don't understand why you would think any of this was a good idea. It is what it is. Okay. On August 19th, the Superior Court entered judgment for Echard and against Owens in the amount of $149,219.76. That took me a minute. I'm not used to seeing that much money. Plus interest at the legal rate beginning 180 days from the judgment for attorney's fees and costs incurred in the fraudulent paternity action. Owens appealed the judgment to the Arizona Court of Appeals. The Arizona Court of Appeals affirmed the judgment and awarded Echard additional attorney's fees and costs incurred in defense of the appeal via 2 judgments entered May 6th and May 28th. The total amount of these judgments is $40,259.50. So I forgot that they tried to go to the Court of Appeals twice. I forgot he did that reconsideration motion, David did, after his debate with Rachel. He was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Which, obviously didn't have the effect that they wanted it to have, but whatever. Okay. Owens petitioned the Arizona Supreme Court for review of the lower court judgments. The Arizona Supreme Court denied review and awarded Echard additional attorney's fees and costs via judgment entered September 19th, 2025. The total amount of this judgment is $6,597.06 plus interest at the legal rate. In total, Owens owes Echard $196,076.32 in principal plus interest at the legal rate from the above dates in judgments. In addition to awarding Echard a judgment for attorney's fees and costs incurred in the paternity litigation, the Superior Court found that Owens had engaged in a pattern of similar behavior against individuals other than Echard and referred the matter to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for further investigation of Owens' action pursuant to ARS, whatever sections. And she, I don't know if you guys saw the last couple of streams, but on the website, of course, blames the county attorney, Rachel Mitchell, for ruining her love life, which is amazing. It was already pretty fucked up, but all right. On or about May 1st, 2025, a grand jury indicted Owens with 7 felony charges related to her conduct towards Echard and the paternity litigation. On or about November 4th, 2025, a grand jury indicted Owens with 6 additional felony charges. Is it 6 additional? I thought it was 7. Maybe it's 6. Relating to similar conduct against another victim prior to her meeting Echard. The charges in the original indictment were dismissed without prejudice and brought again in consolidation with a new indictment with, upon information and belief, one additional charge relating to Echard. Oh, okay, I see. I get it now. The case number for all charges arising from both indictments is, and then they put the case number there in Maricopa County. The case remains pending as of the time of this adversary complaint. Okay. What, love life? I don't know, man. One sec. All right. Upon information and belief, the charges specifically resulting from Owens' conduct towards Echard, or conduct done in relation to the paternity litigation against Echard, included fraudulent schemes/artifices, forgery of a written instrument, 5 counts of perjury via false sworn statements, and tampering with physical evidence. So when she complains on her website about the court going after her for perjury, something that they don't normally prosecute, first of all, that just tells you that her case is special. She did way worse stuff. But also, she gladly leaves out the forgery of written instrument and the tampering with physical evidence. So it's kind of ridiculous. All right. Count 1, non-dischargeability of debt. The current indebtedness Owens owes to Echard arises from the judgments awarded in state court actions. Owens is not entitled to discharge the debt owed to Echard because the judgment results from the financial injury Owens caused by engaging in the conduct alleged in this complaint. So basically they're saying she should not be able to get away with causing injury to Clayton and getting away with it by filing bankruptcy. Like, she should still owe that debt. Owens' conduct was willful and malicious. That's pretty well known at this point. Let's see. Owens knew or should have known that the fraudulent conduct in which she engaged would cause significant financial harm to Echard. Owens' conduct did, in fact, cause significant financial harm to Echard, resulting in the judgments against Owens described in this complaint. Therefore, the debt Owens owes to Echard is not dischargeable pursuant to 11 U.S.C. 523A6. All right. Count 2, ineligibility for discharge. Upon information, Owens is a beneficial interest holder in several business entities, including but not limited to Quartet Farms, LLC, Liz Max Investments, Keybacker, and Stylet. We mentioned those above. Upon information, within 1 year before the date of filing the petition, Owens transferred, removed, destroyed, mutilated, or concealed, or has permitted any of these acts, certain property of the debtor with the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud a creditor in violation of 11 U.S.C. So she's done something shady here, which I'm sure is not shocking to anyone. I don't have any real details about exactly what they're alleging here, but it's not hard to figure out that she was probably moving stuff around and trying to dodge paying her judgment. Upon information, Owens has unjustifiably concealed, destroyed, mutilated, falsified, or failed to keep or preserve recorded information from which her financial condition or business transactions might be ascertained in violation of 11 U.S.C. One sec, guys. Time to get a job at Starbucks. You think Starbucks Googles their employees? I don't know if that's going to work. Okay, let's see. Who wants to see if Laura's going to try to have her bankruptcy case dismissed? I don't know. Did they follow the safe harbor? I don't know if there's actually a safe harbor rule for bankruptcy shit. I'm just being sarcastic at this point. What did Brad just send me? Hang on. Let me make sure it's not important. Oh, no, it's not relevant to the current topic, so I'm going to leave that for a little bit longer. Let's see. She horse traded? Dude. All the Best has a Substack article about this. Oh, okay. I haven't been able to see it. I've been kind of all over the place with covering stuff lately. This is the first time I've ever been juggling 3 or 4 or 5 different cases. So I haven't seen it yet, but we'll look later. Okay. Let's see. Upon information, Owens has knowingly and fraudulently presented false claims in this case to hinder the ability of creditors to ascertain her financial condition and the extent of her estate, including denying the existence of a business partner or affiliate's pending bankruptcy action in the voluntary petition, and B, denying that she has received income in the past 2 years in contradiction to previous statements made under oath. So this was the thing that stood out to me. Obviously, I remember when she was making travel requests in the criminal docket, She said that she had to leave town for work. Like, she asked the court's permission to leave town for work. And that first one that she filed was the thing I was looking for before we pulled this up tonight. And I couldn't find it. But then I found the modified one, which does mention the traveling for work thing. So it'll do good enough. This was back in September. It says, defendant Laura Owens, this is when she had a private attorney, right? By and through undersigned counsels, respectfully moves this court to modify her release conditions by allowing her to travel to San Diego from September 18th to 26th for work purposes and to visit family. For work purposes, okay? Miss Owens contracted COVID. Of course she did. I don't believe she actually had it, but during the previously requested dates of September 4th to 8th and 10th to 15th, and it says unable to travel for work during the previously requested dates. So she asked twice, made requests for work-related things, and then she's like, I haven't had any income in the last 2 years. I find that hard to believe. So, no, it's not a spicy picture. It's not a spicy picture. You guys are weird. It's not a spicy picture. Oh, she has a spicy bread picture. I was like, I don't have one. No, I've never been blessed with a spicy bread picture, so it is what it is. I don't know. Oh, shoulders of justice pics. I have seen Brad's shoulder. Yeah, there is that. Okay. Anyways, going back to the bankruptcy document here. That's kind of stupid of her to do, but all right. Upon information, Owens has failed to explain and cannot satisfactorily explain loss or deficiency of assets to meet her liabilities. Therefore, Echard objects to the granting of a discharge and requests that the court order the bankruptcy trustee to examine Owens' actions and conduct Owens' acts and conduct. Oh my God, I cannot read tonight, I swear. Examine Owens' acts and conduct, there we go, to determine whether a ground exists for denial of discharge. Someone should give me a gold star for finishing that sentence. All right. So he's asking the court to enter a judgment in his favor as to this effect, an order for the bankruptcy trustee to investigate the acts and conduct of the debtor to determine whether ground exists for a denial of discharge. If such grounds are discovered, a judgment declaring that Owens is not entitled to discharge of any debts under 11 U.S.C., notwithstanding any findings pursuant to 11 U.S.C., a judgment declaring Echard's claims, including principal indebtedness and interest against Owens, are not dischargeable under 11 U.S.C., and any further relief the court deems just and proper. And of course, signed by Marcus at Woodnick Law. Or is that Greg? I don't know. It says Marcus and Greg here, so I'm not sure. One of them. It's Woodnick Law. Let's put it that way. I'm not actually sure who wrote this now. Oh, well. Anyways, you guys get the point. Are we still talking about spicy pics? Lauren has the most mods ever for a live. Dude, that is so true. Like half of my my chat is like mods, but I don't mind it that way because like when I go to other subjects, I always have at least a couple of mods. You know what I mean? Or no matter what time of day it is, because sometimes I'll stream in the morning or in the afternoon if something like important comes up, especially in the Baldoni stuff. And so I always have a couple of mods. So I've covered my bases, but then sometimes like this, like tonight, I get like 40 mods. So someone said earlier that young Woodnick looked like Brad Pitt. That's what I thought you were talking about. Oh. Huh. Wait. I haven't seen young Woodnick, have I? I mean, he's not old now. No one tell him I said that. Okay, because it's going to sound like I'm saying he looks old now, but it wasn't. Yeah. Anyways, thank you to all 400 of my mods tonight. Like I said, this was going to be a short stream. I just wanted to go over this update in the bankruptcy case. And I have to go play Fortnite with Patrick. He needs my help finishing a quest. So if anyone has any complaints about how short this live stream was, please direct them to Patrick. It is his fault, and it's totally not because I am tired and full of spaghetti. So, all right. Appreciate it, everyone, and I will be back with you soon. We'll probably do something on Sunday. I still have to go over a couple more articles from that stupid fucking website, which is just Comedy Central. But I'll probably do that. Well, Sunday I'm going to the Jags playoff game, though. Clayton's Justice on X is here, too. Man, everybody's here. Okay, so I'm going to the Jags playoff game Sunday. If I'm not dead, hey, Zach, what's up? If I'm not dead, then we'll do Sunday night. If not, then, you know what? I'll think about it tomorrow. Maybe we'll do tomorrow night. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, that's it for me. I got to go play Fortnite. Goodbye, everyone. See ya.